It's your boy Bawan here today to give you my review from this weekend's WWE events, which is SmackDown and the one they did in Japan called Beast from the East. As you can see, missing from his absence is my boy Jimmy. We had prior engagement this weekend, so we couldn't get together and do our review, but we'll be back together next week with both shows of Raw and SmackDown next week at its usual times. And also, I'm still will be next week doing my NXT, RH, and TNA review. But first, we're gonna start off with what happened on this week in SmackDown. On SmackDown, we had Seth Rollins and J&J Security come to the ring, and Seth Rollins bragging about the watches and stuff he gave to Kane and J&J Security. Then he makes the match between Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, and he also makes a match between him and Roman Reigns. So during the time, Dean Ambrose decides to come to the ring, and Seth Rollins is like, you know what, Dean, the match between you and Bray Wyatt will take place now. So Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose goes at it. Pretty good match, you know. But ultimately, Bray Wyatt picks up the victory, hitting Dean Ambrose and Sister Abigail. So Bray Wyatt picks up the win. Then we go to our next match between R-Truth and Adam Rose. It was a no match. You know, the match was pretty quick. R-Truth hits him with his finisher, beats him. Therefore, he wins R-Truth. Then we have a match between Ryback and Mark Henry. Now, this is a very big, physical, strong match. Well, ultimately, Ryback picks up the victory. So Ryback wins that match, of course. So then we have a Divas match between Brie Bella and Naomi. Of course, Brie Bella is accompanied to the ring by Alicia Fox, as her sister Nikki Bella is not there. She had a prior engagement in Japan this past weekend. So, and of course, Tamina is also missing because she had a prior engagement in Japan as well. So, Brie Bella picks up the victory over Naomi. Then we have Rusev comes out to the ring with Summer Rae. He kind of accidentally called Summer Rae Lana. I don't know if he knew that or not, but everybody else did. Then he talks about how Summer Rae was a real woman, how she knows her role, and how at one time he lost everything, and how he's going to take everything from Dolph Ziggler. So whenever Rusev comes back, him and Dolph Ziggler is going to have their match or whatever. So then we go to the Primetime Players as they wrestle the Ascension. It's an alright tag team match. PTP actually eventually picks up the victory. So off we go to our main event. You know, Seth Rollins in the ring. He waits for a few seconds, then he tells the referee to go on and count, to hit the bell. So while the referee starts counting, Roman Reigns music hits. Roman Reigns comes running to the ring. Boom, they go at it, you know, back and forth on Reigns. Look like he's about to take care of business. Then J&J gets involved. So then comes the rant way, comes Dean Ambrose with his kendo stick, and they clean house, leaving Joey Mercury to fend for himself. So as Joey Mercury is out there fending for himself, Seth Rollins and Jamie Noble is by the stage, and all I can hear is Jamie Noble says, "Go get himself, go on, Seth, go get himself, go get himself." So Seth just stands there, you know, while they just beat up on Joey Mercury. So they just keep beating him up and stuff. So I wonder what's gonna happen on Raw. I wonder what Seth got to say, why he didn't go out there and help Joey Mercury. So that ends the SmackDown portion. So then we go to this live event that happened on the 4th of July weekend, which is called Beast in the East. It starts off with a pretty good match between Y2J, Chris Jericho. That's right, for those of you who ain't heard me, I said it right. Y2J makes a special appearance in Japan wrestling for the WWE in this match against Adrian Neville. This one, Neville gives Y2J all he can handle. We thinking, man, maybe Y2J might have lost it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Neville finna pull it off. So Neville attempts to do his radio roll. Y2J picks up his knees, counters it, hits Neville with the former version of the Lion Tamer, which they call Walls Jericho now. It's like the old Lion Tamer. Hits him, Neville taps, picks up the victory, Chris Jericho. So he still got it, you know. Whenever he does wrestle here, I think Jericho still got it. He got it in him. So then we have our next match. It was a Divas match for the triple threat Divas match for the Divas Championship between the challengers being Paige, Tamina, and Nikki Bella. Now in this match, I seen Nikki and Paige working together to try to take out Tamina, vice versa. So ultimately, Paige is out the ring. Tamina jumps on the top rope as appears to try to do her splash, made famous by her father. Peace up to Jimmy Superfly Snuka, one of the greatest entertainers to do that move. But Tamina misses the splash. Then Nikki gets up, hits Tamina with the elbow, picking up the 1, 2, 3 and retaining her Divas champion. So Nikki Bella, 226 days as Divas champion, continues. She's got a hashtag 300, means she's trying to go at least 300 days before she loses that title. The record is 295, held by AJ Lee, who is no longer with the company. So then we have the Beast, Brock Lesnar, who makes his first match in WrestleMania as he takes on, what a joke, New Day's Kofi Kingston. We all know what's one-sided. Brock Lesnar dominates the whole match. Suplex City. That's all you. Suplex City. Finally hits with the F5. Out comes, hits him with the 1, 2, 3 victory. Out comes the other members, Big E and Xavier Woods. Brock Lesnar suplex them all over the place. It's all over the place. Just suplexes all over the building. Just all over the place. I'm like, dang, Brock. Can you do some of this hot suplex, man? I know you're a bad man, but man, come on, man, suplex. I don't know if I want to go Suplex City. What do you think? But enough of the comedy, I had to throw that in there because, lately it's all you see from Brock Lesnar. Suplex City. He hits him with it. So we go to our championship match between the NXT champion Kevin Owens and formerly known as Prince DeWitt in Japan, Finn Balor. This is pretty much a dominating match from the beginning. Finn Balor pretty much dominated Owens, Ultimately hits Owens with the coup de grace, picks up the victory, becomes your new NXT champion. I'm wondering about that. Owens must be finna be full-time on the roster. Someday I hope to see Finn Balor there, which I think he will be there. I think he's a pretty good talent, along with several other superstars that's down on the NXT roster. But NXT, speaking of NXT, they have in their next NXT Rivalry pay-per-view event the night before SummerSlam on Saturday, August the 22nd, I do believe. It's the night before SummerSlam anyway. It's going to be live from Brooklyn, New York. First time they're doing one of those rivalries away from Full Sail Center. And we go to our main event. In this main event, you have Kane and King Barrett. Holy, what a joke. As they take on John Cena and Dolph Ziggler. Now in this match, pretty much dominated by Cena and Ziggler. But until the close to the end, Ziggler like he's about to get beat. Somehow he manages to kick out. This shows the resiliency of Dolph Ziggler. He tags in John Cena. John Cena ultimately takes care of business, knocks Wade Barrett down, hits him with a 5-knuckle shuffle. You can't see me, AA, over with. The winner of the matches, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler. And that concludes that episode of The Beast from the East. It was an alright paper event on the WWE Network, but I think it could be better. Could have been better. You could have made Brock Lesnar the main event since he is the Beast. But first show that WWE did in Japan that actually live. They have done shows like Raw and SmackDown from Japan before, but it was all pre-recorded. This is actually the first show they actually did a live recording of. So, things are starting getting better. But before I go, I'd like to give you a little information about another wrestling organization. As you know, TNA, which is Total Nonstop Action, and as you know, the co-founder of TNA, which is Jeff Jarrett, has started up a new wrestling promotion called Global Force Wrestling. I don't know exactly when that's going to actually take into effect, but I have some leading information of some of the talent there. As far as the women, I know a couple of them. Mickie James, Lady Topper, who is the niece of one of the great legendary Barbarian. And you know, and they got on their roster. We have, as far as superstars, a wrestler who was formerly known as Justin Gabriel, Matt Morgan, Shelton Benjamin, who was a roommate and, you know, classmate with Brock Lesnar when they was in University of Minnesota together wrestling. Sanjay Dutch, you know, the Masterpiece, formerly known as Chris Masters. The guy that's on used to be on RH named Moves, he's there as well. And this just in, for those of you who like the It Factor, Bobby Roode is apparently has jumped ship too. He is also going to be on Global Force Wrestling, as he says he attempts to become the first ever Global Force Wrestling champion. So, you know, but I'm thinking, you know, the whole deal is that it's gonna be all together eventually, because you know Jeff Jarrett just did a match on TNA, and he did an interview this past week on TNA, how they're gonna work together, how they plan on working together in the near future. So, you know, see how things turn out. But that's a recap for this weekend in wrestling. You know, I'll be back in my usual times. Me and Jimmy, my boy Jimmy, we'll be back to do our Raw review and our SmackDown review. As always, I'm going to hit you up my NXT, RH, and TNA review on one show. So, you know, leave me a comment, hit me up, hit like, or tell me what you think. You know, what can I do to entertain you people, to give you a better program as I continue to develop on my learning stages of giving you results from wrestling. You know, so, you know, until then, I'd like to say peace, God bless, have a safe day.